serving life behind bars could now be released in the next 5 years. In 1995, Mark Berrios was sentenced to life from prison without parole in Volusia County for shooting and killing a man he says tried to molest him. Well, now, 23 years later, he was back in court where he agreed to a reduced sentence of 30 years and will get credit for most of the time he's already served. First Coast News reporter Julia Janae was in court today with the man's family.
You could see the emotion all over Mark Berrios' face as he agonized over whether to accept a plea deal that would keep him in jail another 5 years or waive his right to ever have his case reviewed or appealed again.
We feel like even though he's not getting out today, that we did prevail.
Mark Berrios' mother, Margaret Loring, has been fighting 23 years to see her son free after what happened in this Daytona Beach house, a home owned by Olin Hepler, a 47-year-old man Berrios killed in '94 when he was 15 years old.
He stopped and asked me if I needed a ride.
Back in 2005, Berrios spoke to First Coast News from jail about the moments leading up to Hepler's death.
While we were talking, his hand started going lower to my shirt and pulled up my shirt, and I moved his hand away, and he stuck his hand back inside my shirt into my pants. I tried to slap his hand away, and then he slapped me, and that's when I grabbed his gun.
Officials would later confirm Hepler was being investigated in connection to a ring of pedophiles. But at Berrios' murder trial, prosecutors told a different story, that of a calculated shooting from behind by a runaway teen who took Hepler's vehicle and money after the shooting. Berrios was convicted and sentenced to life without parole. The details about Hepler's history and allegations of sex abuse never made it in front of the jury.
I know what he's been through.
Eric Levy traveled from Connecticut Monday with plans to testify. He says he was a victim of the same man Berrios killed.
I couldn't leave. I was 15 years old. I was told I couldn't go home. I wasn't wanted. They were monsters.
It's a 2012 U.S. Supreme Court decision, Miller versus Alabama, that would give Berrios the chance to get a new sentence. The ruling made life without parole for juveniles unconstitutional, applying retroactively to cases like Berrios's.
And he will walk out of here one day. You know, it might not be as soon as we wanted, but there's a date. We have a date.